Kenya. It is a strategically crucial Eastern African country, with Ethiopia and Somalia on its north and northeast, South Sudan and Uganda in the west, Tanzania in the south, and the Indian Ocean in the east. This nation of over 48 million people holds ports and cities of tremendous economic value. Being a stable gateway of trade into Africa, Mombasa, a great coastal city of Kenya, has historically always been an attraction for the world's powers. In the 14th century, the Portuguese stormed its gates. Then the Ottoman Turks arrived in 1585. But the Portuguese were back after 4 years, and they built Fort Jesus. Then came the Omanis in 1698, who captured Fort Jesus. And then it was time for the British to shine, because obviously. And they ruled all of Kenya for a long time. All of this was mainly for Kenya's strategic location and for Mombasa. Now, Kenya is an independent nation, but there is one more imperialist power lurking in the shadows, waiting to pounce on any opportunity to take control of Kenya's strategic assets, starting with Mombasa. And that is China. But before China's dreams can turn into a reality, something big is brewing to kick the paper dragon out of this region for good. Hi, and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I am your host Shubhangi, and in this video, I will tell you about Kenya and India's grand plan to demolish China's imperialist dreams in Africa. Let's begin. India's Foreign Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar is on a 3-day visit to Kenya. He is looking to further improve bilateral relations between the two countries, and as a part of this effort, Dr. Jaishankar met Kenya's top ministers and discussed building a comprehensive partnership between the two countries. While India is looking to improve its ties with Kenya, the real objective is to kick China out of the country that functions as a coastal hub and remains the largest economy in East Africa. China wants to take control of strategic infrastructure like ports and railways in Kenya, with a spate of predatory loans and debt traps as a part of Chinese President Xi Jinping's flagship Belt and Road Initiative investments in the country. India discussed collaboration with Kenya in several sectors, namely trade and investment, defense and security cooperation, development partnerships in regional and multilateral fora, as well as people-to-people interaction. In fact, India and Kenya have actually managed to reach a breakthrough. New Delhi has extended support to Kenya's domestic programs listed under the East African nation's Big Four agenda. Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta has 4 big priorities for Kenya on his radar: manufacturing, affordable housing, universal health, and food security. Accordingly, India will be supporting projects in Kenya that seek the construction of 500,000 new affordable homes, universal health coverage, 100% food security, and enhancement in manufacturing to 20% of the GDP by 2022. India itself has tasted recent success in the sectors of affordable housing, health coverage, food security, and manufacturing at a domestic level. Therefore, the Kenyatta administration is likely to repose faith in collaboration with India. What India's benevolent involvement also does is that it creates a lot of leverage for Kenya in its desire to reduce reliance on China. Presently, Beijing does enjoy a lot of influence in Kenya. The East African nation is a part of China's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative, and it is afflicted by the menace in Africa called the Chinese debt trap. Let's talk numbers. Kenya owes $9 billion to China in debt, largely on account of Belt and Road projects. Needless to mention, China is Kenya's biggest lender. The East African nation is already using 1/3 of its revenue to service Chinese debt obligations. Belt and Road lending in Kenya pushed the debt to GDP ratio from 50.2% at the end of 2015 to 61.7% at the end of 2019. However, Kenya does understand how the paper dragon is trying to trap it under debt obligations. In fact, it is no secret that China wanted to gain control of Kenya's Mombasa port, but the East African nation turned out to be too smart for the paper dragon. Since 2013, Kenya accepted $5 billion in loans from Beijing for a Belt and Road project called Standard Gauge Railways. The SGR is the largest infrastructure project in Kenya, but it recorded losses to the tune of $98 million in its first year of operation. Mombasa Port's assets were placed as collateral for SGR loans, which triggered speculations that China could wrest control of the lucrative port from Kenya. However, China's hopes were dashed when a Kenyan appellate court declared that the SGR contract between China and Kenya is illegal, effectively disputing the status of Mombasa Port's assets as collateral for the SGR project loans. China has been debt-trapping African countries, and Kenya was one of its main targets. But now, with India jumping into the fray and enhancing cooperation, Kenya is being liberated from Chinese debt traps. This is going to embolden the African continent as a whole. China harbors neo-colonial ambitions, which is why it has pumped $150 billion in debt in Africa. However, with India's entry, more and more countries will be tempted to boycott Beijing and collaborate with New Delhi instead.